What is up, guys? As you saw in the last video, engine is out. Got the valve cover taken off this morning, timing cover taken off. I did notice a couple things here. I'm no professional, but I don't think that is very good or normal. That could be part of my whole problem, who knows, but at this point we're just going to tear it apart, reseal it, regasket it, put a new head gasket in, and new head studs. You'll know why we're doing that probably in the next video, as long as all the parts come in. What else cool I noticed, this is the first 4-cylinder I've ever rebuilt, first Honda too. They actually label the cam caps I1, E1, E2, E3, E4, so on and so forth, because you don't want to mix them up, but also it's kind of cool because if you do, or someone else gets into your stuff, if you're doing it somewhere like I am at work, you never know if anyone's going to play with anything while you're not there or what, but they are labeled so you can put them back where they go. A couple other things I noticed just from getting it all torn out and out of the car. Intake valves, not terrible. They're decent for 218,000 miles, I guess. And then the exhaust side, these guys have definitely seen some better days. It'll focus, there it goes. Basically now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get all the accessories taken off of it, get the rest of the hoses and everything else off. I already got the water outlets off the engine, need to get the distributor off. Go ahead and pull the cams out, pull the head, and see what we're working with. As you can see in the last time lapse, got the timing cover off, got all the accessories off. A couple of little bolts fought me, which are rusty, which is surprising by the amount of oil that's all in there. You can see what I was talking about, all the oil that's in here. I mean, it's still wet. It's surprising that those bolts are even rusty in the first place, but that's probably why they came out, is because of all the oil in there. So, oil pan's off, head's off, all that good stuff. You can see in the last clip, Cylinder 3 had a little weirdness going on, but really the whole reason we did this is so I can do the new dipstick mod, because mine doesn't reach the oil anymore, so put an extended one in. So, I forgot to film a couple things. Pistons are out of it, winding tray's off. I'm gonna go get a couple wire wheels, clean the block up, get it all ready for paint. Just gonna do silver on it, make it look nice. Might as well, it's all out. And if I do have any oil leaks in the future, I'll be able to see exactly where they're coming from with it all cleaned up. Oil pump off, everything else is pretty much off, get the rest of the timing stuff off. At this point, just getting everything cleaned up and waiting on the rebuild kit to come in. So it's been a couple weeks now. I had to wait on the rebuild kit to show up. It took forever for whatever reason. But rebuild kit is here. In my downtime while I was waiting for that, I was able to get some of the block cleaned up. I got the oil pump taken off. The rest of the timing stuff, I got the cylinders honed out. I believe I got some footage of that. But now it's time for reassembly because I got everything here. Moon pulling up, help me out. See if we get anything done. There? Yeah. Forgot to record a lot because my phone died. Yeah, I'm recording on my phone, so there's that. But new oil pumps on, new water pumps on, got the new timing tensioner on. Pistons are in. I don't know if you can see that or not. Oil pan's on. Basically ready to get the head back on. I just need to get some copper spray and then it'll be time to put the head back on. So I got the head stripped, valves, retainers, springs, all that stuff out of there, put new seals in. I already got the whole intake side done. Didn't really film any of that. But brother's friend let me borrow this little tool. It's magnetic. You just take this guy off here. If I can get it with one hand. Just push down and then this is magnetic on the inside and it pulls the little retainer clips out and then you're done. It's pretty simple. I don't know how easy it's gonna be to put them back on, but we'll figure that out when we get there. But as far as valve sims, or valve sim seals, I guess, I got the exhaust ones soaking. They're pretty disgusting. But new seals, I got the old ones off. What I found was easiest, just grab them with pliers, kind of rotate it a little bit and pull up at the same time. They'll eventually just give. It's just a little rubber in there. But as far as the new ones go, you just get them set on there a little bit, nice and straight. Might be different for other cars, obviously, but on this case, a little 11 millimeter, an extension, and just give it a light whack with the mallet, and then they're seated. And then you're ready to put everything back together at that point. As far as the block goes, it's probably as clean as I'm gonna get it. It's just a pain to scrub in all those little areas. I've soaked it with degreaser. I got a wire bristle brush in there. That's as good as it's gonna get. All the new timing stuff's on. I think I said that in one of the last clips. Everything's looking pretty fresh and clean in there. Just gotta finish doing this stuff to the head. Head will go back on, and then we're that much closer to being done. All right, so this valve tool, spring tool, is actually pretty neat. So you use it this way to remove them, and this is magnetic in there, and it'll grab the little retainer clips when you push down on it. And then when you're putting them back on, you put this little guy in here, and then this little point, put your spring in there, put this one on too, and just do both of them real quick, just so you can see. But you load your spring retainer up like this, put that little point in it, set it on the spring, and then you just push down. You hear it click, and it's done. It's actually really cool and a lot simpler than I thought it was gonna be. Not gonna lie, because I was kind of scared about doing those. So that's that.
The only thing is that it... So, hey, you're good where you're at, okay? So come up, what you're gonna do is you're gonna dig pretty much that back tire so you're about 4 inches off. Put it in second gear. So when you're about 4 inches off, and you're just gonna bump it. Okay?
Just tell me when to bump it, I'll bump it.
Come on. Come on.
Hold on a second. Alright, ready?
Yep. Come on.
All right, so once again, it's a whole different day. Zach is up here helping me this time. I did some of the other stuff that I did the head work at home, but now I'm back at my work. Zach came up, helped me get the timing set on it, got all the accessories put back on. We set the valve latch, everything like that. So it's ready to go back in. That's our goal for the night, is to get it back in. Not necessarily running, but just have it back in. I had some things come up, and basically we got to kind of rush it now. That's why the filming's been very splotchy. But I'll give you a time lapse now of us wrestling it back in. Engine is back in. I think we're ready to start it. So I got the distributor unplugged right now. We're going to crank it, get oil going in some places, get it spread out through the engine and everything like that. And then if we feel like it's all right, we're going to plug the distributor in and see if she fires. Also, mind you, exhaust has like 3 bolts in it because my exhaust hasn't showed up yet. So see what we got. What do you do with the key?
Look at the ignition.
Is it in the trunk still?
Should be in the ignition.
I don't have a key.
Oh, it's right here. Handwork. It said handwork.
I think it does sound a little decent.
That shooter is in.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna get out of the way. Hold on.
Here we go, first start. Phone's about to die, that's what I record with. But passenger side axle's in, driver side's in pretty much. Just gotta tighten the wheel nut, get the brakes put back on. Something I never recorded, because I did this before I was filming anything really. This is kind of like a DIY budget big brake kit. So you got 2007 Mini Cooper non-S model brake rotors. These are like 97 and 99 Acura CL brake calipers. And then I believe 04 to 07 TSX brake pads. It gives you an inch bigger rotor, a little bit better stopping power, and I believe it was like 25% more pad surface. Another thing, just real quick on this, when I first stopped the car, it always had an ABS light on, and then I kind of diagnosed that. It's got a bad left front wheel speed sensor, but I don't know if you can see or not. I tried to replace it, and the bolt snapped in the spindle. I got to get those drilled out, or see if I can find a new spindle, whichever is easier, and get 2 new upper control arms, because these have definitely seen better days, and who knows how old they are. Just some preventative maintenance stuff, but I'm gonna cut to another time lapse, get this put back together. Only thing left I have after this is get the rest of the exhaust put back on, and bleed the coolant and the power steering. So I got all the new exhaust on, test pipe, 2.5 inch all the way back into a 4-inch tip, which is nothing special, just like a little eBay deal. I don't know if someone can let me know in the comments or not, but even the stock stuff doesn't line up on these hangers, so I tried to smack them in a little bit. I mean, it's a little better than it was. And also, this is probably the weirdest bung location I've ever seen. If you put a sensor in it, it's gonna be dragging the ground. If you put a defouler in it, that's still gonna hit the ground. So I'll have to weld a bung in there at a little bit different angle so I can get a sensor put in it. The old sensor, I don't know if you can see that, stripped out anyway, so we're just not gonna put that in there for now, and I'll order a new one, have that here tomorrow. But all the exhaust is done, axles are back in, ready to fire it up and bleed the coolant and finish bleeding the power steering. I don't know if you remember from the last video, it was kind of idling like a Subaru. It's nice and smooth now, sounds a lot better than it did before. Didn't film it, but the header showed up, got that installed. Still got 2 broken studs in it, but it doesn't leak, it's not making any noise. But last thing I need to do to it, we did the valve adjustments on it, set the valve lash, whatnot. We didn't have the correct, what do you want to call it, feeler gauges, so I got those. So get the valve cover off, get the plugs out, get that set, and then we'll be good to drive it. So let's get that done. All right, now I got the valve cover off. Basically now what I got to do is I got to crack all these little bolts loose, and they got the little slots in them. You take a flathead screwdriver, break those all loose for 12mm bolts, take the flathead, and then basically when you turn that little screw in there, you put this guy here. Whenever you turn it, it changes the height of the, I guess it'd be a rocker, if that's what you want to call it, and changes the clearance in there. On the intake, it's between 0.003 and 0.005. We had them way off when we initially did them, so I'm just going back through, redoing them. And after checking with these, we were way out. So glad I did this now instead of going and driving it and just forgetting about it. But we'll get some of those adjusted here, put the valve cover back on, and then take it for a ride. So basically what you gotta do, you gotta get them at top dead center. So I got an extension here so I can watch the piston movement and see when I'm at top dead center on it. Put a ratchet on the crank and go. That was the wrong one. 180. There it is. So you just want to watch for it to kind of peak. Going past it, so we'll back up a little bit. Right there. Alright, so now that we got cylinder 2 at top dead center, we're going to take that guy out of there because it'll just be in the way. I already got the nuts loose on it. And then we got our feeler gauge here. This is minimum clearance, this is maximum clearance. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the maximum just so I can show you. Not terrible, we weren't too far off on this one, but the minimum one is definitely hot dog in a hallway. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take this, take the screwdriver here, and then we're just gonna kind of adjust it until we feel a little bit of drag. You don't want too much to where it's grabbing it, but you want enough to where it's got a little resistance. I think that's good right there. So then you hold that, take your 12, snug it up, come back with your feeler gauge, check it again, feels pretty good. And then we'll take the maximum one, and doesn't even go in, so we're good. That means we're the lowest still has a little bit of free play, but the max doesn't even go in, which means we're kind of right in the middle of spec, which is good. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these adjusted, and then we'll start it up and listen to it. All right, got all the valves lash readjusted, valve covers back on. I didn't film it, I just want to get it done. Getting tired of working on this thing now at this point. I just want to drive it and enjoy it, so I didn't really film a whole lot, just kind of bust it down, got it all done, put it back together. So we're gonna go ahead and start it up, listen to it, see if it sounds any better. If it does, we're gonna go take it for a drive. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna park it and probably forget about it. I won't do that, but hopefully this fixes the noise that we had last time we started it up for the first time. I don't know how noticeable it's gonna be on camera or not, but it's definitely way quieter than it was before, which is good. So we're gonna go take it for a ride. I do have to address the alternator belt. I didn't get it tight enough, so it does squeal on startup. But yeah, she's ready to drive now. One more thing I do have to do before I really is I gotta raise it up a little bit. That sits pretty low. I got about, I'd say an inch and a half of clearance under the manifold to the ground. So gotta raise the car up a little bit. Not really stoked on that, but gotta do what you gotta do. So it's been about a month since the last time I drove this thing. This will be the first drive since it's been rebuilt. I'll get a couple clips of it just cruising. I'm not gonna do anything too crazy. Here for a little drive. I didn't realize how much I miss being in this thing. It's nice to have a little 90s car, front wheel drive, just something you can rip around. Definitely my favorite kind of car, probably. I do have a check engine light on. I haven't been able to get that 102 sensor back in. The bung was positioned. It's just not possible to put in right now, so I do gotta get a bung welded back into it. ABS light, I told you about that one too. That was just because that ABS sensor bracket bolts snapped into the spindle, so I gotta figure those out. She's running good, running smooth. Feels pretty strong. I didn't do a pull or anything like that, but she does seem to be running a lot better than she was before. Definitely firing on all cylinders now. So, go do a little drive, take it back home, and we're probably just gonna close this video out here, guys. So, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. This one, probably gonna do some off-roading for the next video. Take the Jeep down to Moonlight and just have some fun. Just get some clips out in the woods. So, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.